So how do you edit 3 times faster than you're already doing and save yourself like minutes, hours, maybe even days? You probably guessed the way I'm talking that this week's sprint faced that exact problem. I lost hours and days to the editing process, but I may have just found a way out of this exact problem. Let's jump right into it. Okay, presentation time. So if you're new here, this is all part of the Triple 100 project, which is posting 100 shorts within 100 days with the kind of North Star aim of getting 100,000 subscribers. Just, to make sure that I'm not posting shit and keep up the quality as well as the quantity. And where does this all take place? Well, I'm posting the shorts on a different channel, which will be linked below in the description section here if you want. And on this channel, it's a behind the scenes channel where I kind of go over what happened, what worked, what didn't work, the fails, the wins, the losses, the insights, everything I know. And just to give you a bit of context on all of this, background info, I did something similar to this in the past with long form content, and I just wanted to see if it's possible, not only with shorts, but also with entertainment based content that's more storytelling and more challenge based and more personality driven, character driven, all that fun stuff. Okay, so looking back at this week, last week already, the goal was to post 4 videos this week, and I posted 3, so close. I gave myself a bit of an X for that one. Fair is fair. And the focus was to improve workflow and turnaround times. Yeah, definitely not that quick yet. Post-production is taking a long time, but pre-production ramped up compared to week 1. It was way faster, coming up with ideas and scripting them out and just rejecting ideas that I knew wouldn't work well on YouTube and beyond. So I'm giving myself a little tick for that one. And then lastly, I wanted to avoid staying up late, and unfortunately it got worse this week than the previous week. Longer nights due to editing again. So editing is going down, I'm telling you. It's really on my target list. So yeah, editing caused that slip. C'est la vie. So let's have a look at the overall progress across this entire sprint. So we're 4 videos in, a long way to 100, a long way to the 9th of October, where we're going to get there slowly but surely. Okay, so let's have a look at the content from this week. So 2 videos here, and I'm posting them all on the 3 short form platforms, by the way, but the main focus is YouTube. So these videos were very similar. They're following a kind of guess the movie format. Took a while to edit them and everything, but they consistently got the same sort of views on YouTube, which is great. Not so good on Instagram and TikTok, but the focus is YouTube, so that's quite good, quite consistent. And then we had this piece of content, which is interesting. It also got 1,000 views on YouTube, so again, pretty consistent. But I actually took this video down today at 1,000 views because I reposted it just today with a different intro and a different posting time, and I just wanted to test if this works. We'll see if it made a difference or not, because we're still in the experimentation phase and we're still figuring things out. But it will be interesting to see if this will make a difference or not. So I'll probably maybe cover that next week. But this type of video is story-based, challenge-based. Took a while to make. Embarrassingly, it took like 2 days to edit it almost. And that wasn't including the pre-production and the production, the actual filming of it. So it was long, but these are big swings that I wanted to just try and get down and figure out. They're more entertainment-driven and story-based. But the good news is that took less than the similar type of video I did in week 1, which took 3 days to edit almost. This is the first time I kind of did that type of content in short form. And going into this, I knew these types of formats would take a long time because they've like about 30 shots plus, maybe 96 to 100 takes. Of course, the plan is to trim all that down, but it's a lot of footage to go through in the edit, and that's why it took so much time. But it did go down, and that's the main thing. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. 3 things, in fact, that have reduced my editing time a good bit. Okay, so the first big takeaway from this week was to edit to the side. And what I mean by that is to take out a section that you're working on and bring it to the end of the timeline, far away from the main timeline, or duplicate the whole timeline and project, and then just work on that section and bring it back into the main project and the main timeline. So the idea is to get away from the story itself, because you get pulled into it. There's a risk of like watching different parts of it, tinkering with different parts, and then like your time just sort of drifts away. So that was a big takeaway. Stay away from the timeline. It's not worth it. Just go in and out, like wait till the end to do that sort of fine tuning for the whole timeline. And the second editing takeaway from this week was to edit in passes. So quite similar to the above point. I found the last day that I worked on this full edit was I decided to basically, I was super tired from the day before, just doing like a 8-hour sprint of editing, that I decided to just edit in sections and broke up my day into 30-minute slots. And then in between each slot, I had a list of things to do around the house, like chores or whatever. The idea was just to get away from sitting down at the editing bay. It felt longer in a way, the day, but I had more energy each time I was coming back, and I would do a different pass of the edit, a different section from the edit, and just come back. And yeah, I timed the 30-minute blocks as well as the 15-minute intervals. So I felt an urgency even to do the chore, and I was also thinking about the next part of the edit. Interesting. So kind of counterintuitive, but it somehow kind of worked. Last but not least, this might be an obvious one, but auto-generating your captions. I know this is like already built in DaVinci and also Premiere, but on Final Cut Pro you can auto-generate the captions, but you can't actually change the styles of them. So you can use a third-party app like Captionator, which I was using. I'd used it before, but it helped a little bit. It saved a bit of time. But yeah, a lot to cover in editing. I'm picking up other tips. I'll probably do a separate video on it, but let's move on and have a look at where all this is going in terms of the sprint. So on the timeline, we are here halfway through July already. Still a long way to go, but onwards and upwards. And then next week, the goal is to post 5 videos. Probably should have wrote 4, but we'll push for 5. And the idea is to test out new lighter formats. And that's why I've increased the sort of goal to get 5 shorter editing times, hopefully. And then I can post more. And then the focus is to batch, similar to the above point. It's just to batch everything, batch writing sessions, batch production. So what I want to avoid again is late nights. So go to bed early, wake up early, and avoid editing 1 video at a time. So just again, above point, batch edit. Don't get sucked into just 1 video and trying to perfect it and polish it and shine it. It's a dangerous road to take. Anyway, that's it. Hope you like this, and I will see you on the next overview video. Thanks. Bye.